eBay on Craigslist. A guy had a listing that showed a 4-inch Kurt Vise, brand new, and said my trusty, rusty, something, something Vise for sale. And then he showed some pictures of the actual unit. It's a Kurt 4-inch Vise. He had this handle on it. Well, I'd written the guy and said, yeah, for 60 bucks, want to buy it. And didn't get a response. Then I got a response a couple days later. You want to buy it? Yeah, what do you think I wrote you for? Wrote him again. No response. And then I wrote him, basically said, you know, what the hell, are you selling the thing or not to me? Well, he did send me a email and said, yeah, just come and get it. Here's the address. And stick the $60 in the mail slot. So I went up and got it. Yeah, it's rusty. The unit's not frozen up with this little handle he had here on it. And so basically going to take it apart. It's got some numbers stamped here in the back fixed jaw, the block. But we'll end up taking it apart and give it the rust bath and grind it and put her all back together. Based on the color, I'm thinking this is quite an older Kurt, and but we'll make it look new. So we'll bring you back as we proceed here. Probably should have sprayed a little oil back in here, but it's coming apart. There's the back piece that lifts off. You can see we got some wet rust underneath there. Nothing too bad. The ball's in there. Ball's got a little bit of grease on it. The screw looks pretty good. A little more rust. Ball fell out. So we got the ball, the jaws, back jaw there. Pull this guy out. Yeah, we'll pull that out in a second and get an impact to pull that out. We're going the right way. And these guys are in there pretty good. Let me get a bigger wrench. So here's just a handheld. I've decided to use Vinegar as a rust remover. So I put it in there, and you can see on this side here where it's already, I just went in with a little brush. It's only been in there like for 15 minutes. I think the vinegar is going to work. It's only $3. $3 for 1.3 gallons. So we'll give it a try. This is all going to get ground anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, here's the Vise parts after taking a bath in just distilled white vinegar. Pretty happy with how it came out. Just minor scrubbing with a brass brush, and they were probably in there a little longer than I wanted them to be. I had to run and pick up something for a friend, but you can see I just got them coated with WD-40 right now. But there's the Kurt logo right there. I don't know if it'll come through with the oil on it, but it is a Kurt Vise. I was curious if it was a Kurt Vise because here it says D40-1 SA, not USA, but SA. And looking on the web before I got this guy cleaned, I kept finding the SA, so assuming that it was a actual Kurt Vise. And then lo and behold, as I was cleaning the rust off, there it came, the Kurt Vise logo on it. So Vise is in great shape. I'm going to continue cleaning, and I don't think I'm going to grind any of these blocks, and I'm even debating whether I'm going to grind the bed. I'm going to clean it up further and double check, but I'm really happy with the condition of the Vise. So bring you back after I get more cleaning done on it. Well, I thought I would check how flat this Vise is. I've got the bottom and the top both stoned with a precision stone, and the Vise base somewhat hinges, but basically you can see the 10th indicators on 0 there, and pull it across, and it drops about 1,000 there, where generally all the wear would have taken place. And we get back up to the edge of the Vise where it's never used, and it's back at 0. We come around to the other side, pull up on it, a couple of tenths above 0. Basically 0 right there, and drops the about 1,000, and then comes back up to this side about 5/10 high, or yeah, 5/10 high, depending upon where the needle. Of course, this was rusty there, so that's part of it, but it's all been stoned. So probably going to touch this up on the surface grinder both sides, just to put it to being totally tits. Let me grab something. I'm just going to leave the camera run. Of course, if you're watching my channel, you watch a lot of people's channels in the machining side, but this is the block that runs back and forth, and just for the fun of it, I ran well, not the fun of it, but I needed to, ran the precision stone over this, and just to show you how it doesn't scratch, but it definitely picked up all of the high points that were on there. I think that's showing up on the camera. But I want to go ahead and set this up and check these surfaces here for wear and see how they're doing. So I'll get that set up and we'll come back. Out of curiosity, I set the block on the Vise and just wanted to see what I could find out by doing that. And if I press on these two corners, I really can't get the indicator to move. It's a 10th indicator. If I press over here, I don't get anything to move, but I press over here and get a whole whopping, I'm being funny here, a whole whopping 3/10, 4/10, 3/10. So pretty true all in all. It'll be interesting to check the bottom of this and see, but basically no movement at all. Well, kind of assumed this, but basically maybe a 10th across there. Two tenths, maybe dragging the needle sideways like that. Here's nothing. There's a little bit of wear there. Let me come over here. That's showing 5/10, and basically flat all the way across. Let's go see if we still have 0 over here. No, it looks like the indicator moved a little bit. We're 5/10 here. And now we're getting a little bit of a read change. I gotta try something else just for the fun of it. But all in all, it's pretty good for a vise. So for the fun of it, this is a leveling plate, and I got basically 0, 0, 0 all the way around the table. So I want to set the part up on this now, and we'll see what we get. So I've got the indicator set to 0 here, and as we come across, we get about 2/10 low over here. Back up to 0. Let's try on the other side. So 2/10 high. Down to 0. So that's probably our little bit of rock we saw. 2/10 high, 2/10 low on the, I do that backwards, 2/10 low, 2/10 high. Of course, over what, 3.5, almost 4 inches, that's nothing. Anyway, good little experiment, just to see. My understanding of a leveling plate, it takes the surface plate kind of out of the measurement. Of course, it's a reference, but this leveling plate is 0, 0, 0 all the way around. And so now when you actually check the part, it'll read the deviations of the part. It's different than if you have the part sitting actually onto the surface plate, is my understanding. I'm a novice, so take that for a grain of salt, or maybe somebody wants to add something in the comments to explain further. So, not going to grind this, don't see any reason to. We'll set it up on mag parallels and probably touch up this side just for cosmetics. Just a very light touch up on it. I don't think I'll touch the sides at all. I thought I'd show this. I'm cleaning up the back jaw, the stationary, but I just wanted to see if you could You can hear that. As the precision stone is taking the high spots off of the top of this. And of course, the tops of these two jaws, everything gets thrown on them. They get beat up. That's hence you got the little dings and stuff. But we will be checking the face to the key to see how parallel that is. Hopefully the reflection is not too bad here, but the Vise bed is back from the surface grinder. Let me slide it off here. So the bottom's been ground. And let's just give it a quick little run across here. So see if we can, yeah, it's close to 0 there. Yeah, bounce, just 1 or 2 tenths. And 2 tenths down at the other end. Can't beat that. Be a little more careful here what I'm doing. Yeah, I saw like a half a thou deviation there when I moved the needle real quick, and you can see it's near nothing. So it turned out real well, real happy with it. So next will be is doing the movable block and the fixed block. Grind those up. You can probably, I don't know if it shows up here, you can see some maybe some scratches here. When I ground this, I ground this surface first. Let me think about what I did. I ground this surface first, and then I turned the bed over and I ground the bottom of the vise from this to match this. The bottom actually had a belly right in the center here, and so it turned out well. And there's just no movement in the vise where previously I could actually get it to rock. So it turned out nice, and we'll continue on. So the fixed back jaw, I don't have it bolted down, it's just sitting there on the vise, but I was curious how parallel the face is. And so see here, got it on 0, and we come down here, and got a half a thou there all the way out here, about middle. Two tenths, and that's really where you typically would measure distance equal to what your vertical is. But yeah, 2 tenths. I think that's good. And there we got 4, almost 5 tenths, and way out here, yeah, 6 tenths. But that's extreme. So I don't have to play with this jaw. I'm going to leave it alone. I've just stoned it, to get any of the burrs off of it, but I'm not going to surface grind that at all. No sense even touching any of this. Well, let's check the movable jaw, which we know the movable jaw is going to move and cant a little bit, right? But let's see what it does. So we got 0 there. Go about halfway out. 2/10, 1.5 tenths, 1/10. Not bad. Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's better than the fixed jaw. Wow. Anyway, I don't think there's really any reason to check that, but I thought I'd just do it for the fun of it. And it is in very good shape. So I got the vise temporarily put back together, and going to go ahead and grind these two surfaces. Right now, this one's basically, I got it at 0, and this guy's about a 1/2 thou low. There's really no need that they have to be the exact same height, but it'll just be easy to grind them together and put pressure on the back jaw here. So off to the grinder. Well, here's the 2 blocks back from the surface grinder. I didn't go for every little ding. I just got them nice and cleaned up, and so they're ready to go back on the vise. I picked up a can of paint. This is Ford Blue, but reading on Practical Machinist, a guy from Kurt said this really matches their powder coat. So once the vise body dries a little bit from the coolant, get it masked off and painted, and put it back together. Well, there's the finished product. The vise is all done, nice and clean, and ready to go to work. It was a fun project. Got to do some surface grinding and some cleaning. And I got to just to finish up with this paint, the Duplicolor enamel with ceramic. This stuff's the bomb. It's great, great, great paint. Really, really impressed with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video that included all the different discussion and things, what I was doing. And I don't have the actual stock handle for it, but don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to sell it. Time will tell. Thanks for stopping by the channel. As always, I appreciate your time. Your comments are always welcome, and your likes are greatly appreciated, and you're more than welcome to share the file. Take care, and we'll see you again on another video.